Bernardo, you were in that courtroom when the juror was dismissed, and then the judge says he'd reconsider. What was that moment like?
It was complete chaos because Juju, to this moment, I still don't know. Was he really actually dismissed? Because the judge said that he would consider, and if he changes his mind, he'll let the parties know. And even when he stated that he had everyone exit the courtroom, had their attorneys inside the courtroom, and said that this is going to be a sealed proceeding. We waited outside. We saw 15 of the jurors go downstairs, and the one juror that hadn't gone downstairs yet was that juror that was at the center of this attention.
On Friday, during a routine courtroom session, everything came to a screeching halt. Judge Arun Subramanian dropped a bombshell. He was dismissing juror number 6, a black man, for allegedly giving inconsistent statements about his residency. According to the judge, the juror gave conflicting answers, first claiming he lived with his daughter in New Jersey, then saying she stayed in the Bronx with his aunt, and finally stating he lived with his girlfriend. These contradictions, the judge said, hinted at an effort to try to get onto the jury. Diddy shook his head in disbelief, and his defense team? Furious. They weren't buying the explanation. Diddy's lawyers immediately pushed back, saying it was no coincidence that the juror being removed was black. They accused the prosecution of trying to quietly eliminate jurors who might empathize with the defense and potentially hang the jury. One of the most harrowing testimonies came from victim number 3, referred to as Jane. She returned to the stand visibly shaken, her voice trembling as she described being drugged, coerced, and trafficked, not just by Diddy, but by a network of men he allegedly employed to break her down. She told the jury that on her birthday, she was forced to have sex with 3 men before being delivered to Diddy. And she didn't resist because by that point, she was already robotic. The trauma had conditioned her into silence and submission. Cassie Ventura's earlier testimony painted an even darker picture. She described the freak-offs, grotesque nights where Diddy would force her to engage in sex acts with male escorts as he watched from the shadows, issuing commands like a director controlling a film. If she said no, she'd get physically attacked. Diddy's defense team is scrambling. They're now pushing for a mistrial, claiming that Cassie and Jane are fabricating their stories. Then came the real shocker. Kanye West entered the courthouse. Yes, Kanye. Dressed in all black, the disgraced rapper and former billionaire showed up to support his longtime friend. Some in the gallery gasped. Others cheered. A few looked stunned. Why was he there? Was it a statement of solidarity or a stunt? The courtroom was then suddenly cleared of all media and spectators. The judge ordered the gallery sealed, citing a sensitive matter that needed to be addressed behind closed doors. What happened next remains a mystery for now. If you think Diddy is the only one on trial here, think again. Because as more evidence piles up and more witnesses come forward, one question is echoing louder than ever. Who else was at those parties? We're not just talking about background dancers or assistants. We're talking A-list celebrities, tech billionaires, music executives, athletes, politicians, names that make headlines for award shows, not sex crimes. One flight log allegedly tied to Diddy's private jet already hints at shocking names, but that's just scratching the surface.
That stretch far beyond one man's reach. His assistants, his security, his music industry partners, his celebrity guests. They weren't just bystanders, they were participants. Cassie Ventura's testimony laid bare a world of control, drug-fueled coercion, and calculated humiliation. But her voice was just the beginning. Jane, the third victim, described Diddy's operations like clockwork, saying she became robotic because it was all so routine. Freak-offs, escorts, hotel setups, no phones, no evidence, except for what Diddy himself allegedly recorded. And that's where it gets darker. Unlike Epstein, Diddy has video. He didn't just party. He filmed the parties. And according to insiders, that footage was his real power. It's how he controlled people. Celebrities, politicians, executives, people with everything to lose. And now witnesses are vanishing. Associates have gone quiet. Files are sealed. The raid on Diddy's mansion might have been too late or worse, staged. Some believe the feds weren't there to collect evidence. They were there to destroy it. So what happens next? Is this trial the beginning of a massive takedown of Hollywood's darkest secrets? Or is it all being buried again? Will Diddy take the fall alone? Or will others finally be exposed? Will powerful names be redacted, protected, forgotten? Or will this trial finally force open the doors the elite have kept closed for decades? We're watching history. We're watching a legacy burn. And depending on what comes out next, we may be watching the fall of something far bigger than Sean Combs. The story isn't over. So hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next update could shake the entire industry. As week 5 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial closes, one thing is clear. This is no longer just about one man. It's about an empire built on power, fear, manipulation, and silence. Diddy's empire spanned decades. From Bad Boy Records to Ciroc, from red carpets to presidential meetings, he wasn't just a music mogul. He was a cultural icon. But now, everything he built is being turned inside out in front of the world. And yet, questions still remain. Will Diddy be convicted? The charges of sex trafficking, drug trafficking, and racketeering conspiracy are enough to lock him away for life. But this is Diddy, a man who's long moved through the world untouchable. His lawyers are fighting hard. They've already claimed Cassie lied. They've challenged the credibility of witnesses. They even fought to keep a black juror on the case, suggesting racial bias in the courtroom. But the evidence keeps piling up, and the silence from Hollywood, deafening. Where the celebrities who once partied at his mansion? Where the influencers who posted from his yachts? Will they speak or keep hiding behind PR statements and deleted posts? Because here's the truth. If Diddy falls, he might not fall alone. He could take others with him, names the public never expected, people with images built on positivity and success, now suddenly connected to a secret world of exploitation. And those who help hide the truth, they're sweating. But if Diddy walks free?
What message does that send? That the elite are above justice. That money, fame, and blackmail tapes still matter more than victims. The courtroom isn't just trying a man. It's trying a system. The system of celebrity protection. The system of silence. The system that lets power hide perversion. So now the world waits. Will justice be served? Or will the truth be buried one more time? You decide. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Diddy is guilty? And who else should be held accountable? Don't forget like, subscribe, and hit the bell. This story is far from over. And the next name to fall might just shock the world.